When my daughter Miranda was 3 years old, I had to really rely on my faith and prayer. My name is Phyllis Osbourne. I'm married to Bob, and he's a career soldier, retired. I also have a son, John, and 5 beautiful grandchildren. When this happened with Miranda, we were at Fort Knox, Kentucky. She came down one morning, noticeably limping. Nothing had happened. We had no idea why. As the day went on, her leg kind of pulled behind her, and she's just dragging it as she tried to walk. Then by the end of the day, it had pulled up so much that her foot was a few inches off the ground, which made walking very difficult. So I took her to our family doctor, and he examined her, ran lots of tests, tried to straighten it himself, which was very unsuccessful. And he said, well, come back in a week. He thought her leg would be straight by then. He said, come back in a week. I'll have all the blood tests back, all the tests, and we'll go over it and get a plan. Well, we went back. Her leg was still the same. He had no answers. Said the blood test, any of the tests showed nothing that they could even begin to imagine what was causing it. After seeing 3 doctors, running multitude of tests again, they said they were pretty sure, since there was nothing evident that was wrong, that this was permanent, that it probably would never straighten. So I went home that night, and I had been talking to my sister-in-law, Sarah, all through this, telling her, each step of the way what was going on. So I called her and I told her, they don't give me any hope at all that this is ever going to change. And she said, well, she had 20 ladies coming to her house every Friday for a Bible study. And she said, we have been praying for Miranda since this started, and we'll keep praying. Later that week, she called me, and she said, after she told the ladies all the stuff the doctor had said, they decided they were going to call everybody they knew, families, friends, whatever, in different states. And then they compiled a list of what states nobody knew anybody. And they called churches and had them to commit to contact people to pray for Miranda at 1 o'clock that next day on Friday, Eastern Time, when their Bible group would be meeting. So everybody would be praying for her at the same time. Well, the next day, I spent most of the day praying myself and watching Miranda and noticing how difficult everything was becoming. She couldn't do the simplest of things anymore. But we went to bed that night, and her leg was the same. But I wasn't concerned because I've always been taught God answers prayer His timing, not ours. So the next morning, before I even woke up and got up, here comes Miranda running in my room as if nothing had ever happened. Her leg was perfect. She never had a pain. Nothing ever seemed to hurt her. But all of a sudden, her leg was just fine again. Go figure. That changed my prayer life immensely because I started praying for specific things instead of being so general with my prayer life. And I saw firsthand what God can do. And I know Miranda will ask me, even all through our life, different situations would come up, and she'd say, Mom, why aren't you worrying about that? And my answer that day, now, and forever has always been, don't worry about it, pray about it.